I was intrigued by how the dragon called me, what kind of a name he gave me, because he didn't give a name at all, it seemed. It was like something that you should hear to believe, actually. So a few weeks ago, someone from Facebook said, I have the dragon language written down. And I was intrigued by this. I said, can I see it? Of course, here it is. But there is something, I don't say to you, you are wrong. I don't say to you, because every dragon path is different, every dragon is different, and the way how we learn and how the dragon teaches us is always going to be different. But this time I had to say, this is not a dragon language, because dragons don't write things down. They don't create books. They don't create words or letters. Dragons are no humans. They cannot even carry a pen or a book. They have claws. They also don't mind about this. Whenever the dragon needs to remember something, the dragon will always remember it. That is why they will never forget who you are, my brothers and sisters, and the reason why you are with the dragon. But in fact, I had to say this to this man. This is not dragon language. And this man else was a bit like annoyed by saying, you cannot say this because I learned how you write it down. You cannot write a dragon language down. You cannot do that. Because whatever the dragon is saying to you and telling to you in this dragon language is so unique and a dragon language is so personal. Even dragons themselves, dragons are so different that even dragons can have different languages from each other. Of course, they will understand what the other was saying, but it's going to be different. The language how dragons speak is not at all like how humans speak. Humans speak, for example, English, French, Spanish, Portuguese or whatever, so many different kind of languages. With dragons it's different. They all seem to have different languages, but they also seem to understand each other. And that is how the dragon will communicate with you, with how you will understand your dragon by your side. And in the beginning, I understood everything what the dragon was saying. That I even I questioned myself, how can I understand this? Normally when people hear this, they would hear like, yeah, whatever. What would they hear whenever they hear the dragon language, whenever they hear the dragons talk? But with us, it's immediately translated. How come? Because you have a dragon soul that will understand whatever your dragon is trying to say to you. Because it's going to be impossible for a human. Of course, there are so many films, so many movies with dragons that can talk. Well, let me be clear. Dragons don't talk a human language. They don't even have the ability to do that. But they can talk to you in their language, and you will understand everything that they are saying in a draconic language. And that is why I was a bit confused in the beginning, because there was one thing that I didn't understand. And that many years actually later, that my dragon always repeated himself like this. I cannot even tell it's with my human tongue. I don't know it. For you, my brothers and sisters, my name is Tim Heijen, and I'm simply a dragon witch. But Tim Heijen is what humans call me. In fact, my brothers and sisters, you have many names that the dragon actually knows. The dragon knows all of your names, but especially the one that your dragon mother gave you. Dragons give their children always names. Whenever they were born, whenever they are hatched, dragon mothers always give names to their children, always. And it's going to be a different sound and different from each and every one of them. So this is the name that your dragon by your side remembers. This is the name that actually is much more than simply a name. Whenever humans call themselves a name, it's actually to recognize you, to know who you are. But in fact, whenever dragons name you, it's much more than just a name. It's more like an opening to another gate, an opening to another realm. Whenever you managed to speak your name, the gates will be opened for the dragon immediately. And if somewhere you should actually remember from your soul and spirit what your name is, what kind of a name is. It's so powerful you cannot even imagine how powerful even your simple name is. Of course, like I said, simply Tim Heijen in this world, that is how humans call me. But my dragon calls me completely something different, and I'm sure of it. Sure of it, that your dragon will call you in the name that you have as a spirit. It doesn't mean that it's a different kind of name, of course not. It's how your spirit calls, how your spirit, your draconic spirit names, he names your draconic spirit that he still recognizes also the name, still remembers the name. That is why your dragon is still with you, because they remember everything from you. And of course that your soul is as well just as draconic as the dragons by your side and the dragon gods, that you are one together. And even your dragon god that will call upon your name, and you will immediately know that it's about you. Whenever your name is called, even it's draconic, your dragon name will actually be immediately that you will recognize it. You will recognize it, because in the beginning I was a bit confused whenever my dragon said it. But in fact, somewhere I always recognized this. In fact, I should have known that he always refers to us, that my dragon refers to me, that your dragon refers to you in, of course, a dragon language. And of course, your name as a dragon spirit cannot be written down. It's not how it works. Dragons don't write things. Dragons don't read things. Dragons are dragons, no humans. Even though humanity would, or even fans of dragon would love it, that you can ride a dragon, you can speak to a dragon can speak English or whatever. There is a reason why you can talk with dragons. That is because you are not that different from them. And they know it. They know it so well. Also, the reason why we can understand dragon language. Can we even talk dragon language? Whenever your mouth is closed, you can talk dragon magic. And even dragon language, I mean. And even whenever your dragon is talking to you, even when your dragon is actually angry with you, you will immediately know it. It's immediately translated to how you should feel it, how you should know it. That is it, Dragon language is much more than just a sound. It's more with feelings. It's more with instincts that are different. Whenever dragons talk to you, it's much more than just a sound. Of course, humans make it into a sound, but when dragons have dragon language, it's much more than just a sound. It's more like divine, godlike, much more like this. That is what humans actually don't want to see about the dragons. They used to be worshipped because of this, but then they saw themselves as greater, as better, as the only one who can rule the earth. Of course, with a species like this, dragons cannot cooperate together. And that is why dragons only do that with the ones that are connected to them. And that is you, my brother or sister, because you are not much different than them. Whenever your name is called, you will know it. Of course, whenever my dragon, for example, calls me upon my name, the name that I had for thousands and thousands of years, and that I just am now born as a human being, but the spirit is still that of a dragon, and that is why you will understand everything that the dragon will say. And the dragon will say a lot. I can guarantee you that, because they are the greatest teachers that you should have. There are no teachers of humans that will recognize dragon language. Of course, there are many people actually, even on the dragon's path, saying, I know the dragon language. No, you don't. And that is what I hate, actually, to say to you, no. You are wrong. I don't like to say that, because it pushes people away from the dragon. But when it comes to dragon language, you cannot write it down, you cannot even speak it, you cannot even read it. Of course you cannot read it because you cannot write it down. Your dragon name is sacred, it's divine. Your dragon name awakens your soul, even simply by hearing it. That is why my dragon always refers me. in that name and not as Tim Heijen, because that is only something that humans use. My brothers and sisters, be blessed.